Hello, everybody, and welcome into another Flyers news and rumors here at the Hockey Writers. I'm your host, Matthew Zator, and as always, joined in by Justin Giampietro. Justin, how's it going? I know we talked before recording. It might not be in a good spot after the Flyers last game, but how's it going?
I'm doing fine. Maybe a little bit overreaction. I'm overreacting a little bit after their last game. I wasn't very happy. I'll just point it that way. I wasn't happy with some of Michkov's deployment, um, but we might get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, for sure. It's the Flyers aren't off to a good start. They're toiling at the bottom, around the bottom of the Eastern Conference right now. It's not been good. But I mean, there's some good things we can talk about. We'll start with Jamie Drysdale because he has been playing really well. And when he was in Anaheim, I knew he was going to be a top defenseman in the NHL. He's starting to look like that, a top four guy. What have you seen from Drysdale so far this season?
So it's really been a tale of 3 seasons for him. The first year, not really, because he got traded mid-season. He wasn't very good at all. He was really struggling, and then he gets hurt like late February, I believe. It was just kind of a mess. The second year, he doesn't have a great start, gets hurt again. Then he comes back, looks really good, I thought. And he was playing only good with Nick Seeler in that pairing. Now you fast forward to this year, he's playing good whoever he plays with. The previous 2 years, he was playing pretty bad hockey, borderline AHL hockey away from Sealer. Now he's his own player. He is a legit top four defenseman, getting around 22 minutes a game on average now. He's useful in really all situations. I would like to see him develop a little bit more on the power play, actually. You would think it's the opposite, where he was drafted as this I wouldn't say offensive defenseman, more of a two-way I've always viewed him as, but people see him as like an offensive guy, and he hasn't always been that. Really solid two-way play, I think, from him. And he's been really valuable to the Flyers lineup. They wouldn't be where they are now. I know they're technically at the bottom of the East. They're 6-5-1. They were just in a playoff spot. They win a game, they win 2 games. They're in the top 3 in the Metro. That's how tight it is. It's pretty tight right now, so it could turn around. But yeah, Drysdale has been a very good story for them thus far.
Yeah, I mean, and when they acquired him, I was actually surprised when they acquired him because I didn't think the Ducks were in the market to trade him because I thought he was going to be part of their core. But yeah, he's definitely developing to what I thought he was going to be, and I like it when it looks like I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Drysdale's looked really good so far with the Flyers. All right, I'm moving to the goaltending. Some injuries. Vladar is, I mean, we've talked about him being the starter. He's the starter. Now Kolosov's called up. Ersson was placed on IR. Do you think this is going to really change much? I mean, Vladar seems to have been playing a lot of the games. Does this, I mean, of course, it weakens the goaltending because Ersson is a legit NHLer with about this injury and the call-up.
Well, I thought that, last year, a lot of Flyers fans will remember last year wasn't very good for Kolosov. There was a lot of drama before the year. We didn't know if he would even be with the organization. There was a lot of drama, and he comes over to the Flyers. Some people think he forced his way to the Flyers, not the AHL. Didn't want to play there, and he had a very bad year, and he wasn't great in minimal time in the AHL. But you go to this year, and I watched a few of his AHL games. He looked really solid. I think he is a vastly improved goalie from where he was a year ago. Sounds crazy to say because it's only been a few months between his last hockey game last season versus this season, but I do think he's a lot better, and he's played in the NHL now, and he technically leads the Flyers in save percentage right now. He played in relief against Toronto. He got the start against Calgary, 2-1 loss, not his fault. He held his own, and you go back to last season, he really wasn't doing that. He wasn't giving you that kind of goaltending. he didn't see a lot of action, but I thought he held his own. And Ersson, expiring contract, he could lose his job to Kolosov. It's a definitely a possibility. Maybe not this season. I think you kind of want Kolosov to be that number one guy in the AHL with the Phantoms, who are having a pretty decent season to this point. It's important for your AHL team to be good, for your goalie to get consistent starts there. But you fast forward to next season, Kolosov may be an option because Ersson so far hasn't been great this season. Kind of a rough last couple seasons. Definitely second half of the 23-24 season. Full 24-25 season wasn't great, even though he was starting a lot of games. So kind of at risk of losing his job if Kolosov continues to play well and Ersson continues to not really find his game.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like you say with this expiring contract. So and Vladar looks like a really good move at this point. You might just say, well, we'll just move on and go with a different tandem so far. And that wasn't really something you really thought about when Ersson was just the goalie. So yeah, we'll see how that all plays out over the season. All right, let's move to some more positivity before we get to the last part, which is probably going to be negative. But Trevor Zegras, we talked about in the last video of how well he's doing this season. He's got 13 points in 12 games as of this video. He's really shining on home ice, though. A lot of points there. What have you seen from him in Philadelphia?
Well, his home ice point streak, it was 8 games. It recently just ended. But he has 12 points in 9 games on home ice. He is one of the best home ice players in the league. The splits are weird. I'd expect them maybe not to even out, but I do think he's closer to his home ice form. He's looked really good. And, he's becoming a kind of a dependable player for Rick Tocchet. He got first line ice time in their last game. He's been getting, I would say, probably around like 18 minutes a game. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I believe they're around there, 17, 18 minutes a game. That's really solid. And he wasn't really getting that in Anaheim toward the end of things. He's getting his confidence back. He looks like how he did as a rookie in his sophomore season as well, where he was the face, I wouldn't say the face of the league. I mean, he was on the NHL cover, but he was the talk of the town. And he's returning to that form, I'd say, if not improving on it. You look at the numbers, again, he's a point per game player right now. Maybe that sticks, maybe it doesn't, but he's continuing to play well. And I don't expect that to stop anytime soon. I do think that the Flyers made a really good decision here to acquire him.
He's got to have a bit better on the road, though, because you can't only have points at home. So, I mean, yeah, it's a great start, though. If he can continue that on the road, that'd be good for the Flyers as well. So we'll see how that continues for Zegras. All right, let's finish the video with what we started the video kind of on. And that was how this season has gone with new head coach Rick Tocchet. Not very well, especially when it's connected to Matvei Michkov. Very early, we know it's very early on, but was hiring Tocchet the wrong move for this team?
I mean, I have my own biases from before when Tocchet was still in Vancouver and the Flyers had just fired John Tortorella. My thoughts were that this is the worst case scenario. Hiring Rick Tocchet, I said he was Tortorella 2.0. I mean, he kind of looks like it right now. It's just very frustrating, especially you have a franchise face of the franchise talent that could be the best player in the league someday in Matvei Michkov. And when he plays poorly, he's punished, and that's fair. When he plays well, he's also punished. He's been really solid recently, and then he just gets thrown on the third line with Rodrigo Abels and Christian Dvorak, and unsurprisingly, he's not able to do much. I thought he actually played well, especially offensively in a game that they scored 1 goal. It's just that he didn't have the talent around him, and that's no shot at Dvorak or Abels.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not their game. And Michkov is being put in positions to fail in my eyes. And it's really disheartening, especially when Tocchet, he's different from Tortorella in that he says one thing and then he'll do another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tortorella told you point blank, I'm going to do this. And he was unapologetic about it. Tocchet, I'm starting to be a little concerned. It is 12 games, but he's reminding me a lot of what I didn't like about John Tortorella and why I thought they had to move on. But we'll see. Maybe Michkov starts getting rewarded when he does play well. But just overall, I just am not a fan of this type of hockey, the style of hockey. The Flyers are one of the lowest shooters of the puck in the league. Tocchet isn't telling his guys not to shoot the puck. It's just a product of his system that I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm hoping it'll turn around. Maybe it might. They have won games. They were just in a wild card spot, so it would be disingenuous to say all of a sudden they're a bad team. Because again, they lost a couple games in a row on a back-to-back. That's tough for anybody. And they were winning games, and the vibes were pretty good for a little bit, and they just kind of spiraled. So we'll see. Maybe it was just a total misunderstanding, and Michkov can get rewarded when he plays well. Because again, he hasn't really gotten that first line ice time ever at all this season. And you're kind of hoping that you play poorly, you get punished, you play well, you get rewarded. But that just hasn't happened this season.
Yeah, I can go on about Tocchet with his stuff too. And Vancouver is the same thing. The Canucks were one of the lowest shooting teams in the league, and it's the same thing. They don't get shots on goal. I don't get it. I don't understand. And he's had history with Russian players, in particular. Andrei Kuzmenko fell into his doghouse and never left, and he got traded. Vasily Podkolzin, same deal, and got traded. So I mean, it's something that it's not just with the Flyers; it's happened in his past. So it's like, there's a bit of concern there. So we'll see. Hopefully, that it does play itself into the positive category, but it's not looking good right now. So Michkov is just too talented. And the Flyers aren't going to want to trade him because he's really young and he's one of the big parts of the future. So I would think Tocchet's gone before he is, but we will see how that goes as the season goes on. All right. Well, there's another Flyers news and rumors. We went one video without talking about Tocchet and Michkov. I think it's the last one. And of course went back. So we'll hopefully not have to talk about it next week. But make sure to check out everything at thehawkbears.com. We got great articles of the Flyers and all the other teams, and also our Substack newsletters, so check those out, and our other videos. But until our next one, we will see you next time.